Hello, my name is Magna, and behind the camera somewhere is Stuart. He's fucked off into the distance, nowhere to be seen. Oh, never mind, he came back. And today we're going to be going over the DJI RS3 Mini and see how useful it is for people like us.
There's some ducks. They're actually very pretty.
Quack, quack. So, out the box, very simple and easy enough to use once you got it set up and once you've gone through the initial setup for it. Power it on, press once, press and hold the power button, simple enough, and it comes to life and will center the gimbal as so.
It's a thing that goes ding.
It does go ding, it's a very nice ding as well. So the gimbal itself, has a couple of different modes. I tend to set it to follow to stay in the orientation that it actually is currently in when you're turning around, doing the old bits, so that the gimbal will follow behind a little bit slower, so it has a smoother transition to each direction.
You do have to take that in mind, of course, because if you're trying to track someone, you kind of have to compensate for that little bit of lag, it's fine, but it means you can actually smooth it. It's like if anyone uses Photoshop and wants an analogy for it effectively, there is a smoothing tool on the pen, which allows that to just drag a little bit behind, meaning if you make a slight jitter in the middle, you're not going to notice it as much. Yeah,
and of course you can obviously control the gimbal with the joystick on the back of the gimbal itself. There's a scroll wheel on the front of it, which you can set up to do various things. For our uses, I've set it to actually control the roll of the camera. So we're using Panasonic Lumix G7 cameras. These cameras are not fully compatible with the RS3 Minis, but that just means that they can't access the Bluetooth function that links them to the Ronin. So that just means we need to use a data cable to plug into it. Thankfully, there is a connection port right here that allows us to do so. So initially out of the box, having had no experience with these with gimbal rigs like this in the past, it was a little bit confusing initially on how to do the setup, to the point where I did have to go and then YouTube it just so I could work out what I was doing. That was entirely a fault on my part. Had I actually, did my research properly and followed some instructions, I would have got it done a lot sooner. Balancing it's super simple though once you know what you're doing. There are a couple of different locking pins. Just unlock those, make sure the camera balances itself and faces in an upright position, and when you turn it on, you're good to go. It was actually really simple. I was just being incredibly stupid. There is of course the app for it. I think the app's mainly meant for the bigger RS3 rigs and the RS4s, which have just come out. Something you might be asking yourself is, why on earth are we recording a review for the RS3 Mini, which has been out for nearly a year, and when the RS3's only just dropped itself? Well, I'll tell you, because it will have come down in price because it's older, and therefore you're more likely to buy it if you're of a consumer level, especially the RS3 Mini, whose primary target audience would in fact be prosumer level photographers and videographers.
Yeah, I'd say that the levels really go, as you say, prosumer, it's right on the base level.
When we went to IG72 earlier this year, we saw a number of people walking around with them, and we were actually a little bit jealous of them because ours was still on order at that time.
Yep.
And it was very nice to see them all walking around like, soon that shall be ours. That one particular.
Yeah.
So in the box, it does come with a little tripod mount. The only reason you're not seeing me hold the tripod mount at the moment is because I felt like trying out the monopod. Yeah, it's simple, knows what you're doing. It works for quite an awful lot, and we enjoy playing around with it. I mean, yes, call us nerds, call us people who just have nothing better to do with our lives except play around with cameras. But they do the job. So, some interesting news for us. We have actually recently become DJI affiliate, which means if you buy DJI stuff through our link attached to this video in our descriptions and in our bios, wherever you may find us, we will actually receive a little bit of a commission of whatever you buy. So preferably, please do go and buy their stuff through us, because we appreciate that very much. They do some really high quality stuff. They're great for people who are new to the drone industry, people new to photography, videography, all the way through to expert level gear. We highly recommend them. As you can see, we've clearly got quite a bit of their kit already. Those of us who know of us will know that we've got the DJI Mavic Mini 2, Mavic 2, 3, the Avata, the mics, obviously the RS3 that we've just spoken about today. We really do enjoy their products. They're very hard wearing, they're useful, and overall really solid company. So yeah, links down below somewhere, or maybe above.